Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on December the 12th, 2019. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. All right, as usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our economic calendar here. So today we saw the FOMC statement come out here. So the Fed kept the interest rate the same. However, the statement from Fed was considered dovish. As a result of that, we saw US dollar drop. So that was the main event that we saw for today. Coming up here on Thursday, very, very busy day here. A few things that we have to keep in mind here. First one is we have Swiss National Bank monetary policy statement. At this point, Swiss National Bank is expected to keep the interest rate the same. However, if they are also dovish in their commentary like we saw with Fed today, we could see Swiss franc drop as a result. So keep an eye on that, especially if you're trading the Swiss franc. Tomorrow, a big thing that we have to keep in mind here is actually our British pound and UK elections. So all day here, we'll have UK elections, and as the votes start getting counted, we will see a lot of volatility in the market. So keep an eye on, if you are trading the British pound tomorrow, I would suggest being very, very careful. A couple of things to keep in mind. One is increased volatility, especially as the votes get counted. And then after that, another thing we have to keep in mind, actually not after that, but together with that. Another thing to keep in mind is also the increased margin requirements by the brokers. So especially going into Thursday here, the margin requirements are going to increase if you're trading any British pound cross. So due to the increased volatility as well as decreased liquidity, a lot of people are expected to be out of the market till after the results start coming in. And as a result of that, we could see price move quite a bit. And this is why the margin requirements will be higher from all the brokers. You should have received a notice from your broker letting you know that the margin requirements will be higher. And if you haven't, just to let you know that the margin requirements will be higher. And also during these times, during elections like this, especially related to Brexit here, last time we saw Brexit, the referendum go through, there was a huge move in the British pound crosses. So we could see similar moves here. And as a result of that, there could be a lot of slippage as well. So just keep that in mind. We just have to be careful when we are trading the British pound tomorrow. So this could be very, very volatile. And then we have ECB as well. So two central banks plus the parliamentary elections for the pound. Tomorrow is likely to be a very volatile day. It's best to basically step aside and then just kind of watch the market rather than going into the market here. So that's what I would suggest. But in terms of the ECB here, we're not expecting a change in the interest rate here. But again, the focus will be on the monetary policy statement. So just like today, if just like the Fed was dovish, if ECB is also dovish, then we could see euro drop as a result of that. But expect euro to move between UK elections as well as ECB. Euro can be quite volatile tomorrow, so just keep that in mind. And then, of course, we have Bank of Canada, Governor Powell speaking. Not really expecting a big move out of that, but again, any comments, so especially if Governor Powell talks about cutting interest rates into the new year, that will be negative for Canadian dollar. So there have been comments back and forth about cutting interest rates for Bank of Canada. So Bank of Canada generally follows the Fed lead. So Fed has been they have committed to an expansionary monetary policy, which is what the stance was today in the FOMC statement. So if Bank of Canada aligns to that as well, we're likely to see Canadian dollar drop. So last time we saw the monetary policy statement from Bank of Canada, there were some, after that, there were some comments in regards to a potential drop of interest rate. So anyway, keep an ear out for a reduction in interest rates, and if that happens, that would be negative for Canadian dollar. So overall, expect a really volatile day, and best to sit this one out till after our results come out. I will do a separate video on what to expect from the UK elections, but just to let you know, for now, expect volatility. All right, so let's go on to our charts here. As usual, we'll start off with euro dollar. So a big move up in euro dollar here. Most of it had to do with the Fed statement, and with Fed keeping or staying with the expansionary monetary policy, that is negative for the US dollar, and we have seen dollar crosses go up. So hence this big move to the upside. Now, do keep in mind, we do have this inefficient move here. So just like this inefficient move got filled, this one could get filled as well. And for that, we are going to keep an eye on what happens at the high. So if price stays below 1.1140, we could see a drop. However, at this point, bias is bullish and looking for price to move higher. Now, having said that, there is also ECB that's coming out tomorrow. So if ECB is bearish, we could see a drop back either towards 1.1100 or even lower. So keep that in mind. For now, bias is bullish. I'm looking for price to go towards 1.1180. But again, when ECB comes out, we could see a drop in this one if the ECB is dovish, just like Fed was today. So for now, bias is bullish and target is 1.1180. Pound dollar here, this one also looking bullish. We have a nice bullish candle close here. Now, with the UK elections tomorrow, expect volatility from this. One thing to keep in mind here would be if we do not see a break above the high, expect the price to drop. And tomorrow, with the after the elections here, so if the Conservatives win the elections, we're likely to see a move higher here. And in that case, I would be looking for a move towards 1.3380. And then we could actually see a drop. So expect pound to move in both directions. But for now, bias is bullish. And in terms of our targets here, looking for the first target here would be 1.3280, and then above that, we're looking for 1.3380. So bullish bias here for pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, a huge move up in Aussie dollar as well. And a lot of this, again, had to do with the Fed. So bias is bullish here. In this case, what I would look for is a drop potentially into the high of these candles, and then a further move to the upside. Now, keep in mind that we do have the inefficient moves all over the place here. So with the inefficient moves, actually part of that is filled already. So with the inefficient moves, what happens is if the price does not break through the high, it can reverse. But for now, bias is bullish here, and I'm looking for price to pull back into 0.6850 and then a further move to the upside. Target here is 0.6900 as the first target, and then we've got 0.6930. So bullish bias here for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar, a big move to the upside here as well. And this is still looking bullish here. and looking for a further move to the upside here. 0.6620 is the first target, and then we could see potentially see another move towards 0.6650. So bias is bullish here. With this one, we could get a little bit of a deeper pullback here, 0.6570, and then a further move higher. But with all of these, just keep in mind, if the price does not break the high, it could drop. So just be mindful of that. But bias here is bullish for New Zealand dollar as well. Dollar CAD, we got the drop here. Price is into support, so keep that in mind. If it doesn't break the low here, it could turn around, but it is bearish, and I will look for a drop here. Next target here is 1.3130, and then below that 1.31 3115. So bias here is bearish for dollar CAD, and for a pullback we could get a pullback into 1.3190, something like that. So bias is bearish for dollar CAD, but again, because price is into support here, if it doesn't break the low, it could reverse, so just be mindful of that. But bearish bias for dollar CAD. Let's take a look at the commodities here. Silver, we have a bullish candle close here. Price finally broke through that support level, which was acting as resistance here. So bias is bullish here. I will look for price to go further. And in this case, first target is 17 and then 17.25. So bias is bullish for silver. Gold here, this one as well, it is bullish. Price has gone up. So looking for price to move up further into 1483 is the first target, and then 1493 is the second target. So bias is bullish for gold as well. Oil here, oil is still stuck in this range, hasn't really done a whole lot. So we have a neutral candle close again. I would just look for a retest of 58, and if it stays above that, we could see price go back into the range like that. So neutral bias here for oil, 58 is the target. Copper, a big move higher here, right into our resistance here, and this is why Australian dollar and Aussie and New Zealand have been quite strong, because our commodities have been strong. We have seen gold, silver, as well as copper move higher. And as a result, because these are directly related to Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar, they have gone up as well. All right, so bias is still bullish. Next target, we are into resistance, so keep that in mind. So we do need to see a break above. Next target though is 2.78. Bullish bias for copper. Bitcoin still dropping here. Bias is bearish still. We are into support, so we do need to see a break for this to continue. First target is 6750. Second target is 6494. Bearish bias here for Bitcoin. All right, our equities here. Equities still going sideways. We did see this move up on the dovish Fed statement here, but it is this is not looking as strong as for it to continue. We did not see a break above the high. We have a lower high than the previous high here. So overall, bias is not very bullish, even though we do have a bullish candle close. So in this case, we could see this one drop. So if price doesn't break through 3150, we're likely to see this one drop. So especially going into Friday here, if we do not hear anything about, if you don't hear anything about, what do you call it? If you do not hear anything about the US and China trade deal, I will look for this one to drop here. So for now, I'm looking for a drop, a little bit of a move higher, 3150. And so bias is neutral, first of all, but as long as it stays below 3150, I will look for a drop towards 3120 and then 3100. Nasdaq, same thing here. It hasn't quite broken above the high. It's sideways still. We do have a bullish candle close here, but I'm looking for just a retest of the high. And if it stays below 84.20, I'm looking for a drop here. And most of this has to do with the uncertainty in regards to the trade deal. We were supposed to get a phase 1 trade deal signed a long time ago, and that has not materialized. As a result, if tariffs kick in, this is going to drop. Next one here, we have Dow Jones. This one is completely neutral here. We do have a neutral candle close. Price hasn't really done a whole lot. Looking for it to drop here. 27,780 is the first target. Again, bias is neutral, but we could see a drop here as well. DAX here, DAX hasn't really done a whole lot either. It did go up towards the high, hasn't really broken through the high at this point. Price is just going sideways here. So I would say bias is neutral. I'm looking for price to move back into the range here. So neutral bias for DAX. All right, last couple here, FTSE. FTSE also looking neutral at the moment. It's just been going back and forth in this range. So at this point, we could see a drop towards 71.30, but bias overall is still neutral as it's looking range bound at the moment. So 71.30 is the target. Nikkei here, this one is still trading in the range here. We haven't seen a whole lot of a movement here. It's been stuck in this range. So just looking for price to drop towards 23,200. Overall here, still range bound. So just looking for a move lower. And this one too is slowly making lower highs. And hence I'm looking for a bit of a drop. But do keep in mind that unexpected things can happen. So any comments tomorrow, whether they are true or not, can move the markets in regards to US and China, especially the equity markets and gold and silver and the yen crosses. But tomorrow, in terms of currencies, tons of stuff going on. So expect a really volatile day. All right, so that's it for tomorrow. I would suggest being careful, and I will be back again tomorrow night with the market analysis. Bye for now.